A 12-year-old girl stood by her father's grave and swore she'd never forgive the man who killed him. But 20 years later, she did something no one expected. She visited the killer in prison. She looked him in the eyes and said, "I don't hate you anymore." This is not a story about justice. It's a story about something harder: forgiveness. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today's story is about grief, revenge, and forgiveness so deep it changed 2 lives forever. This is the story of Maria Jenkins, the girl who forgave her father's killer. Illinois, 1999. Maria was just 12 when she heard the gunshot. Her father, a local gas station manager, had been closing up when a man burst in with a pistol. It wasn't a robbery. It was an argument gone too far. One bullet, one moment. Her father was gone. The man who pulled the trigger was David Rowe, a 22-year-old with a record, a temper, and nothing to lose. Maria testified in court. She told the jury how her dad kissed her goodnight, hours before he died, how she used to call him Superman, and how now she was scared to sleep, scared to feel. David Rowe was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Maria thought that would be the end of it, but trauma doesn't follow court dates, and grief doesn't obey the law. As she grew older, Maria didn't heal. She got colder, angrier. She dropped out of college, tried therapy. Nothing worked. At 25, she wrote in her journal, "I thought punishing him would fix me, but I'm still broken." Then one day, a letter arrived. It was from him, David. In shaky handwriting, he wrote, "I don't expect you to forgive me, but I want you to know, I remember his face every day. I'm sorry." She almost burned it. Instead, she cried. Then she read it again and again. A year later, she walked into the prison. She didn't know what to say. Neither did he. He was older, tired. She was nervous, shaking. But when their eyes met, she didn't see a monster. She saw a man. He said, "You don't have to be here." She replied, "I know, but I think I need to be." They spoke for an hour, then 2. Then she came back, week after week, not to punish him, not to make peace, but to find herself again. One day, she stood up during their visit and said, "I don't hate you anymore. I can't carry this forever." And just like that, something inside her shifted. It wasn't about letting him off the hook. It was about letting herself breathe. Psychologists call this transformational forgiveness. It's not about forgetting. It's about reclaiming your power by choosing empathy over anger. Studies show that long-term resentment activates the same stress centers in the brain as trauma itself. Forgiveness, in many cases, reduces anxiety, depression, and even chronic pain. But it's rare and never easy. Today, Maria speaks at schools and prisons. She tells her story, not to excuse violence, but to show that healing is never one-sided. "I didn't forgive him because he deserved it," she says. "I forgave him because I deserved peace." Some stories don't end with justice. Some don't even end with answers. But if there's one thing Maria taught us, it's that forgiveness isn't a gift you give the other person. It's the moment you stop letting pain define you. She didn't forget what happened. She just stopped letting it control what came next. Because true healing doesn't mean erasing the past. It means carrying it differently, with strength, with peace, and with the courage to choose love, even when the world tells you not to. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing freedom over bitterness, because some wounds can't be erased, but they can be released. Thank you all for watching. If this story moved you, drop a comment below. Would you be able to forgive? And if you haven't yet, subscribe for more real stories that dive deep into the human mind. I've left all the sources linked in the description if you want to check them out.